After a couple of years of patiently waiting, we're finally getting what we so dearly want. Keanu Reeves is slated to return in John Wick Chapter 4, and boy, what did we do to deserve it? He brings with him big action actors and a story of betrayal and anger. The trailer is giving us a lot of little clues, so join us in today's video as we look at the new characters and much more. First up, what do we know from the trailer? Well, we do know that we'll be seeing quite a few new characters, and that includes Donnie Yen. The teaser trailer gave fans of the franchise a taste of the upcoming confrontation between John Wick and Yen's character, Kane. The full video gives us a bit more insight into Kane's involvement with the Wick story. Bill Skarsgård and Hiroyuki Sanada, both newcomers to the John Wick world, get more screen time in the full-length teaser. Through the small conversation provided between action scenes, each of them offers us fans some hints about their identities. We know that this giant action movie franchise is building the storylines of its assassins with each new film. The fourth installment appears to be continuing this theme, introducing new characters and groups. Kane's shown fighting Wick in the teaser, and Marquise is revealed, even though we don't know yet what his exact relationship with Wick is, and Sanada was revealed a while ago. With more context from the full-length trailer to draw from, it's apparent that Marquise and Kane are united in their opposition to John Wick, while Shimazu is revealed to be an old friend of John's and a current ally. Up next, Bill Skarsgård makes his Wick universe villain debut. Perhaps it's his horrifyingly brilliant reputation as Pennywise that makes Skarsgård's face so unsettling in the teaser for John Wick Chapter 4. But no joke, his character Marquise is clearly a villain. The main scene between Marquise and Wick is a talk on the parameters for a one-on-one battle, which Winston already foresees. During these discussions, Donnie Yen sits behind Marquise, indicating his commitment to Wick's enemy, potentially as his right hand. Wick's surprise at the news of being challenged shows that Marquise is a high table regular. Regardless of his background, Marquise plainly opposes John Wick and aims to bring the renowned assassin to an end in Chapter 4. Skarsgård's degree of playing evil in a violent role will be gory and beautiful to witness. Whether it's because of Marquise's connections or a never-before-seen ferocity that has won him a place in the world of assassins, Marquise and Kane will meet Baba Yaga head on. Coming up next, Kane might just be John Wick's match. Throughout each of the John Wick sequels, at least one skilled assassin competes with John. They first exchange some back and forth, and then bring out the big guns and fight it out. Wick did this with both Cassian and Ares in John Wick Chapter 2. This concept was continued by the obsessive Zero, who stalked and mocked Wick until confronting him in the last act. Kane will go a similar route as Wick, based on the church scene in which Kane and Wick exchange words and not so subtle threats. The nature of Kane and Wick's former connection might explain why Kane might be the one ghost from Wick's past to kill him off. The conversation, stakes, and even the lyrics of the trailer's background music all refer to the possibility of the main character meeting his end in John Wick Chapter 4. Y'all might have to get the tissues ready in case John dies, because we can't handle that. The High Table has authorized this one-on-one fight in the next sequel, and this speaks volumes about the danger Wick has landed himself in. Turns out, the mysterious members have complete faith in the might of the Marquise's group or Kane's capacity to destroy the boogeyman of assassins. Moving on, Hiroyuki Sanada looks to be John's only friend now. We all know that John Wick is a man of few words, so when he refers to newcomer Shimazu as friend in the new teaser, he means it. Shimazu gives us a few nice words to John during the teaser, and looking at the powerful villains he's up against, the assassin's going to need it. And then, in a very interesting moment, Shimazu's ability level is hinted at in one scene, which shows him surrounded by foes, yet remaining calm. We might get to see some killer martial arts. Another clip shows us Shimazu's confrontation with Kane, promising a great sword battle. Aside from him, Wick hasn't mentioned any other known allegiances in John Wick Chapter 4, but Winston promises a surprise regarding John Wick's family at one point. While Sanada's the only new ally featured in the teaser, the trailer implies that John Wick's true family sits at the high table and is eager to help him in some fashion. With the whole assassin world out to get him in John Wick Chapter 4, he'll need all the support he can get. Next, let's talk about Winston didn't actually try to kill John in Chapter 3. So, none of us saw it coming when Winston looked to betray John at the conclusion of Chapter 3, that's for sure. But Chapter 4 may show us how Winston's actions aren't as straightforward as they seem. He'll most likely return for John Wick Chapter 4 after shooting and almost killing everyone's favorite assassin at the end of the last film. But here's the thing, some fans really believe that Winston didn't actually want him dead at all. Let's break this theory down, shall we? So, by the end of Parabellum, Winston's alleged treachery reinforced his commitment to the secretive high table, but the killing really gave the injured John a chance to escape. Now, why would Ian McShane's character do that? Could Winston still be John's ally in John Wick Chapter 4? If so, why would he come up with such a complex ruse? Throughout the John Wick film series, John has rejected the high table and its elders, forcing him to battle for his life against the world's most lethal assassins. Without Winston's assistance, the former hitman would not have lived as long as he did, as the Continental's management uses influence wherever possible to keep John one step ahead of his opponents. Coming up, what can we expect then in Chapter 4? In John Wick Chapter 3, Winston's forced to face the consequences of his cooperation when the high table designates him and John as enemies for breaking the council's laws. The owner of the Continental eventually strikes a deal with the adjudicator to keep control of the hotel in exchange for killing John Wick. But this wasn't the end of John Wick's story, since his apparent death was used as a distraction so that he could flee before the adjudicator could confirm the killing. If Winston's still trustworthy, he may have shot John to persuade the high table to give him back control of the Continental, allowing it to become a safe zone once more. So that leads us back to the theory. Winston may have purposefully faked John's death to confront the high table. After all, there would be no better weapon in such a fight. They're going to need everything if they go against the high table. Next, the high table war is needed for John Wick to survive. So, we know the two have a friendship, a strong enough friendship to make Winston break the rules for John, and that's saying a lot. At the same time, Winston's goal for helping Baba Yaga may be to use his assassin abilities in the struggle against the high table. The Continental's management takes a risk by continuing to help a man wanted for murder all across the world. But given how frequently John has overcome these massive obstacles, the former hitman may be a reliable asset in the future. Another motivation for letting John survive might be Winston's personal contempt for the high table, given that the council intended to remove him from his post despite his devoted service for almost 40 years. We'd be mad too, to be honest. Winston's dignity would have suffered since the order to resign communicates that he's disposable in the view of the council leaders. What's more, at the John Wick 3 finale, Winston claims that his allegiances extend beyond the Continental, implying that he's completely prepared to wage war against the high table if needed. And it's definitely needed now. Finally, let's look at how the stage doctor shooting scene could predict Winston's ruse. So, try to remember that Chapter 3, Parabellum scene, that takes place literally seconds before John Wick is made excommunicado. This is important because it might give us some answers. In the scene, he has a doctor stitch up one of his wounds and give him painkillers, allowing him to fight the high table agents despite his injuries. Knowing that he'll be executed for helping John, the doctor asks John to shoot him to make it look as though he was overwhelmed by Wick and forced to help him. This scene may have been used to put the idea in viewers' minds that Winston is up to a similar plan, non-lethally shooting John in order to make it look as if the two men are at odds. It would be a clever storytelling because the doctor scene is soon pushed to the background by 40 minutes of brutal action while still foreshadowing what's to come. That's a wrap for this video. Which new character are you most excited to see in action in John Wick 4? And do you think Winston betrayed John? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you at the next one.